So jhana is very much when the mind has found that sort of equilibrium, the mind has found that sort of a freedom from those five hindrances, not through suppression of the hindrances, but by abandoning and by not being involved with those hindrances, you can see that sort of state of mind that is pure. Yeah. So that state of purity is we are heading in the right direction. So our first step is to understand and to appreciate there is such an experience called mind free of those hindrances. Yeah. So those hindrances are precisely the words I mentioned. I'm restless. I'm not happy. My mind is unsettled. I cannot be, I'm always agitated, anxious, worries. So these are all what is called, there are five types of hindrances. So our tendency is to push those hindrances away and say, I don't want those hindrances to come and attack me. I really want to focus on something and push my mind and not being distracted by them. So having that kind of intention to be not distracted and try to block is very much the wrong approach. Yeah, this is what the Buddha said, is that in the Buddha's part, what they say is that there are there is a good samadhi, there is a wholesome samadhi, and there is unwholesome samadhi. And this is somewhere in Anguttara Nikaya. And Buddha says that samadhi which is forcefully suppressing the hindrances or any kind of mental activities, that is not sublime, that is not happy, that samadhi is not purified samadhi. Yeah. And Buddha says if one does not forcefully suppress those hindrances and does not take those sort of hindrances personally, and there is another type of samadhi, and that type of samadhi that we are talking about. Yeah. So and that samadhi is called the four jhanas. Yeah. So we know the four jhanas can be contaminated by suppression, and there is a fourth jhana that is devoid of suppression. And we are practicing that sort of practicing the purity of mind by not suppressing any of these hindrances. And what is our strategy is that hindrances do come. Hindrances become hindrances when you identify with the hindrances, when you pay undue attention to those hindrances, and when you say, I am that restlessness, I am that anxiety, I am that pleasure, I am this pain, I am this happiness. When you have that sort of a projection that these experiences are me, then those kind of hindrances, that kind of activities will lead to that sort of a state of mind that will fuel and that will even make the hindrances 10 times more powerful. Yeah. So they get their what is called their nourishment. And what is their nourishment? That nourishment is the attention. Yeah. So attention is like a thread. Yeah. So we have got all this sort of in a world of an imaginary world that are just a concept, that imaginary world is something, nothing uh, real. Yeah. So they become real when they get a fuel of attention. So it's kind of you are providing that sort of connection. You are fulfilling that sort of that imaginary world to become real. Yeah. You see, there is no such thing called hindrance, the world of hindrances, the world of kind of a happiness, world of anxiety and worry. They are all mind made. Yeah. So how mind makes that? Through the channel of the attention. Yeah. So if you put your attention on the hindrances, then hindrances will become magnified. They become completely, they become manifest. Yeah. if you do not pay attention, if you abandon, if you do the 6R, if you relax, then they will not even materialize. They were just some kind of concept. Yeah. So that is how, our practice is. We are, you know, our practice is very much non-conceptual practice. Yeah. We do not categorize this kind of hindrances, that kind of hindrances. We all, we will simply abandon them. Whatever the content of that hindrance, whatever the concept behind that hindrances, we don't need to worry about. Yeah. So it's kind of our mind becomes preoccupied with about thinking, analyzing, conceptualizing what if and that sort of scenario. But that is very much a reaction. That is very much uh, kind of a fuel that we are providing without us realizing. Yeah. So our practice is to take a step back. Yeah. Be an observer. So when you see that actually you are feeding them, that kind of attention is going and they become manifest, then you can see that sort of a very much everything falling apart and that state of emptiness, state of samadhi appearing in front of you. Yeah. So what is that state of samadhi? Mind becomes extremely spacious because that cluttering of the mind, that personalization, that kind of a heavy burden of the mind, because mind is disentangled. Yeah.